evening, Mindsetters. Welcome to Mindset Learn, the home of the brain, the show that is proudly sponsored by Macmillan. You tuned in this hour with myself, Tabacho Precious, and Dave. How are you?
Good, and you? Thank you for having me here today.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure, hey? Could you let our Mindsetters know who you are, where you come from, and what to expect in today's lesson?
Sure, man. My name's Dave Hansen. I've been teaching business studies since 2007. I've taught all over the world. I taught a couple of years in South Africa, went to the UK for a couple of years, and I've been back in South Africa for 3 years now.
Wow, Mindsetters. I mean, you're in good hands here. And don't forget about our Facebook page, facebook.com/learnextra or mindsetlearn/live. Post anything you're battling with or your questions, your queries. Let us know what you think about today's lesson. I'd love to hear from you. For now, though, let's continue with the lesson.
Right, today we're going to be learning all about quality. So, I don't know, Tabocho, have you ever been to a restaurant where you've had a poor meal and you've had to send it back?
Fortunately, no.
Well, I've had that experience a couple of times, and it's left a bad taste in my mouth, literally. So we're going to be talking about quality and why it's important in the business. Right. So if we look at the concepts that we'll be doing today, right, we're going to be talking about quality performance, right? So let's first start with the definition of what is quality, all right? So quality refers to how good our products or services are. So going back to the restaurant, right? When you're paying for something as a customer, you're expecting the best quality possible. So there's nothing worse than when you're at a restaurant and you get a half-raw meal and you're paying good money for that. Now that's what customers are expecting, and that goes across a wide range of different businesses. From the cell phone networks, you expect to get a good quality reception when you make a call, all the way to when you go to the shops and you buy quality goods. You don't expect them to be off. So it's very important that the business focuses on quality, right? Because sometimes you only have one chance in which you can impress a customer. Right, so if we look at with quality, all right, so quality refers to the ability of goods and services to satisfy a specific need. The quality of a product or service is measured against a specified criteria. So when I go to a restaurant and I ask for a burger, I know what I'd like. The burger must have fresh buns, it must have a good patty, and it must have the different toppings that I'd like on top of it. If I get a burger and it comes with no buns, then I know the quality isn't good. Or if the burger is raw, it's not what I'm expecting. I'm expecting food that is on a specified quality. Right, so other things to look at is quality performance is the process of ensuring that products or services meet consistently high standards. Right, now in South Africa we've got something called the SABS, the South African Bureau of Standards. Now you'll see a lot of those little mark on your parents' windscreen of their car, or a lot of products. So that shows us that those products have been tested and that they perform at a specific level. Next we have is quality control, and this involves control of the material, workmanship, and machinery that is used in the production process. All right. So some of you guys might have bought products and you would have seen at the bottom of the product there's something that says QC and it's got a number there. That means that there was quality control. They made sure that that specific product was up to their desired criteria. Right. So what are the advantages of quality control? Right. First of all, dealers and customers know exactly what they are getting. Right. You are not going to spend a lot of money if you not know what you're going to get. So you're not going to go and spend R250,000 on a car that you've never heard of and you don't know if it will last, because you don't want to waste a lot of money. Right, so let's look here. So dealers and consumers are assured that the goods meet the required standard. That is vital in our business. We want to satisfy our customers. Without customers, businesses can't exist. No matter what product you sell, if you can't sell anything to anyone, you cannot exist. Next, it encourages workers to continue producing quality goods. Now, for many years, China's goods were very inferior to the rest of the goods produced in the world. However, China has looked to change that now, and they've looked to bring in quality goods so that they can become even more competitive. Right. Another good country is Korea, where they produce a lot of quality goods. They want to be seen as the leading world's producer of quality goods. Next, production costs can be reduced through the elimination of poor quality goods. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever watched Gordon Ramsay when he produces a meal, and a lot of the times he throws a meal away and says, this isn't good enough. Right? That is the same thing with quality in the business. If you produce a good that is of inferior quality, you have to throw that good away, those goods away. So you've wasted all that time, effort, and money on producing goods that you are not going to get any money from. Where if you produce a quality good from the beginning, you're going to be able to sell that to your customers and your consumers, and they're going to want to come back for more, because business is all about repeat business. We want people to buy more and more of our goods. Next, it leads to improved quality and product design. Right, we are always looking at trying to improve our products. Now, Steve Jobs was amazing at that. He always looked at making his products better and better. Right, if you look at the first products that he produced, they weren't great, but he always made sure that they were better and better to the world-class products that we have today that he designed. Right, manufacturers provide salary and wage incentives for quality work. So the better your work as a worker, the higher your incentive is going to be. Why? Because you're more profitable for the business. The business doesn't have to worry about you producing inferior goods. Then the last one reveals poor performance by workers and faulty machines. The sooner we can see if a worker is not performing to the desired standard or a machine is faulty, the sooner we can fix it so that we can produce the goods and services that our clients expect. And if they are satisfied, they're going to repeat, we're going to have repeat business, and we're going to get more and more money for the business. And that is one of the objectives of the business, to be as profitable as possible. Right, so quality performance is aimed at all techniques aimed at improving quality. We want quality. Quality is vital in our business. From the person that sweeps the floors all the way to the top at the CEO, if they don't take quality into account, your business will fail. Especially if you want to become a world-class business. And as we know, business these days, you don't just compete in isolation, it's worldwide. So now we have to apply quality across our 8 business functions. Our 8 business functions: administration, human resources, operations, marketing, finance, PR, finance, okay? And we're going to go through each one of them now. So the first one for administration, ensuring efficient capturing and processing of data and information. So if I'm sending out the wrong information to my customers about how much money they owe, right? They are going to get frustrated with me, and they're not going to want to do business with me. Now, I had that where one of my cell phone accounts, they sent the wrong amount to me, and I got very frustrated in that they couldn't keep accurate records. That's what we need. We need accurate records, and you need to satisfy the consumer's wants and needs. Right, if we have a look at human resources here, effective recruitment to attract the best candidates. So if you're a football fanatic, like I am, you'll see that the top football teams want to attract the best players, right, and the best management. They need to do that so that they can achieve their goals of winning championships and trophies, and it's the same in business. If we don't have the best talent, then we're not going to be able to achieve our business's vision and mission, which is where we start in the beginning with business. If we just want to be an ordinary business, then we can attract ordinary talent. But if we want to be a world-class business, we've got to make sure that we have the people that fit into that. Next, recruitment, selection, and appointment of staff who have the necessary qualities to make a significant contribution to the success of the business. So some of you might have seen that Gareth Bale, who plays for Tottenham Hotspurs, he's just been involved in a record bid by Real Madrid for £85 million. Now, Gareth Bale is this phenomenal footballer, scores every opportunity. So Real Madrid want to be the best team in the world. They want him there because he's a world-class striker. So you've got to make sure that you've got the right people with the right skills, the right place at the right time. And that is what human resources are. We need the right people to work in our business so that we can achieve our aims and objectives. Next is we have to have employee development to keep up with changes in technology and in the industry. So we have to make sure that we train our employees in what to do. When I was at school, teachers didn't know anything about Facebook and the internet. It was just some foreign concept. But if I had to come into your classroom now and I didn't know anything about Facebook or the internet, people would say, have I been living under a rock? So we've got to keep our employees up to pace with technology so that they can become a lot more efficient with it. Right, we need to make sure that we have fair remuneration. Right, that we're paying our employees what they are worth. Because if we don't pay our employees what they are worth, they will go to our competition. If they go to our competition, that means we've lost productivity. Right, now the next one is public relations. Right, so first thing, contribute to the community through social responsibility. Right, so corporate social responsibility is a massive thing. People look at those businesses and say, right, what have they done for the community? And if you're not giving back to the community is not going to support you. And a lot of the people in the community are your customers. And if your customers leave you, unfortunately, no matter how good your product is, your business will fail. Another one is release regular press statements to counter negative publicity. Right, so we've got to make sure that people can see what we're doing out there is good. Yes, we may have had a problem with something in our business, but we need to show people, hey, this is what we're doing. This is how we're going to fix things. So if you recall, there was a massive oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico a couple of years ago. That company had to go out and they had to redo all of their work and show the people, hey, we care about you. Right? We're going to fix up our mistake so that you guys will see that we're actually a good company. Yes, we made a mistake, but we're going to rectify it. Another thing there, improve the positive image of the business by delivering quality goods and services. Right, when people know that they can get quality goods or quality services from your business, they're going to continue going there. I've been going to this one restaurant since 1989. Right, that's a long time ago, before a lot of you were even born. But the food there is amazing quality, and I get value for money there. So I keep on going there, and I tell all my friends about it, and they are all going there. You cannot get a table there on the weekend unless you book, right? Because they produce quality goods and services. Right, the next one is risk management. Right, the businesses must have systems in place to identify the risks the business is exposed to. Right, we live in a very competitive landscape. If the business does not know their risks, right, they could fail. So they need to know what they're up against. And you need to have those systems in place and to make sure that your goods are of a superior quality. A couple of years ago, South Africa could do their own thing. We weren't competing with the rest of the world. Now we're competing with the world. We need to make sure that our goods are of a superior standard to the rest of the world. Or else people aren't going to want goods from South Africa. And if we don't have goods of quality and people don't want to buy South African goods, unfortunately that's going to lead to an increase in unemployment, which has a whole bunch of other negative effects for the business. If people are unemployed, they cannot buy our products. If people cannot buy our products, we cannot make money. If we cannot make money, our business will close down, and that adds to even more unemployment. Then we have management and information systems, right? It is necessary that information is available on time. There's no point you trying to write an exam, but you only get your textbook after you've written the exam, so you weren't able to prepare, right? And that's what happens in business. We need that information right now. Information is knowledge, and knowledge is power. Without that, unfortunately, the business will fail. Business has shown over history, the businesses that do not have information and do not adapt to a changing environment will fail. Right. Decisions based on income and information may be costly, or incorrect information may be costly. Right. If I make the wrong decision, I don't know, I want to go for a drive in my car, and I didn't take into account that I had no petrol in my car, and I break down on the side of the highway, and I miss an important business meeting, and I lose that business. I didn't take that information into account. I failed there. Right. Okay.
I think it's time for like a quick ad break.
Okay.
Yeah. So mindsetters, before we go on a quick ad break, I'd like you guys just to share a quick quote by Aristotle quote, and it reads, "Quality is not an act, it is a habit." We'll see you guys in a few minutes. Welcome back to the show, guys. If you just joined us, I am in studio with Dave, and we're busy with business functions. Don't forget, though, to download your notes on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/learnextra or mindsetlearn/live. Dave, take it away.
Right, back to the business functions. On marketing, we have to make sure that we take quality into account at all times. Steve Jobs, when he did marketing of his new products, his test subjects were, can you guess, Tebogo? Right, were children, right? And he would bring out his new products, and he'd give them to children to play with, and you'd see, right, if the children can understand these products, then their parents can understand them. I'm sure you guys at home have it where you have to teach your parents how to SMS. I know I still have to teach my dad how to do that. And he would also see, like, because young children break things very easily, that's why I don't let my little cousins play with any of my stuff, because they break everything. But he'd say, right, if this can last, then we know that this can last as a product for our consumers out there. And he would do a lot of test marketing with people. So we need to make sure that we are getting across to the people, getting the message out to them about our product and service. So that also includes advertising, making sure that we advertise the right products. Right? You can't be a shop saying, right, we've got this cold drink on special, and we're selling it at 10 Rand, but then you run the advert 2 months later and the special's over, because then people are going to get irritated by things like that. Right? We also need to make sure that our finance is of top quality. Right? If we're just spending money left, right, and center, and we're not getting any return for that money, we're going to be losing money in the end. And if we lose money, then we can't do anything with our business. We can't expand our business. We can't recruit the best people. Right. Also, with operations, we need to make sure that we're buying the best raw materials for our products. Right. We're making the best things. We've got the best machines in place. Right. Because all of those things, if we don't have that in place, we're going to produce inferior products and services. And if we produce inferior products and services, you are not going to want to buy them. Right. And another thing to look at is our purchasing. We've got to make sure that we're buying the right stuff, in the right quality, the right quantity, at the right time. I had a friend in university who, instead of ordering 100 bags of cement, ordered 100,000 bags of cement. And it cost the company so much money, and he ended up losing his job because he didn't maintain the quality that was expected from the business. Now, we can split this up into small and large businesses. Small businesses need to ensure that they have got the correct quality goods and services as the owner supervises all processes, and the owner knows that a mistake can be costly. If you're in a small business, one mistake can cause you to lose your whole company. So you need to make sure that quality is top of mind for all of your employees. Another thing here, small businesses have fewer employees to control, and small businesses managers must ensure that the quality control remains high priority. Your business cannot grow if you do not have more customers. If your customers get fed up with your business. So I've been to some small restaurants and the food was absolutely terrible. I had to wait 2 hours for a deal, for my food. Am I going to go back there? No. Right? I've got better things to do with my time. I want to go for a meal. I don't want to have to wait for my food. I want to get my food out and I want to go and eat. So a lot of you guys who watch MasterChef and Gordon Ramsay, you'll see that they're always like, time, get this food out. It has to be of a proper quality. Right? And small businesses need to ensure that they are all about quality, because if they are not about quality, they will not be able to expand and grow. But there's also problems for larger businesses. So larger business structures can become ineffective and employees can become less motivated, which can impact negatively on quality. So if we look at South Africa's biggest employer, who do you think that is, Tebogo?
Tokyo Sekhwale.
Right. Tokyo Sekhwale, not a bad guess there. He works for government. It is government. And government needs to make sure that everything is all about quality. Now, they've got so many employees, right? But what can happen a lot of the time, because they're so big, they cannot monitor quality as closely as they should. Right. And because larger businesses produce on such a large scale, quality control becomes more difficult. Right, but if you look at a lot of companies, a lot of successful companies, they make sure that quality is their number one priority. They are forever testing their products. So you look at vehicle manufacturers, they actually use South Africa as a base because we've got so many different climates and so many different conditions. So like if a car can last in South Africa, it can last all over the world. So they need to make sure that it's quality. You can't be driving down the road, you're a kilometer away from home, and all of a sudden your 4 wheels fall off. Right, so it's all about quality. The big businesses need to make sure quality is there because they have got large amounts of clients and customers that are relying on them. And if they fail that, then unfortunately people are going to leave them. Now there's a lot of car manufacturers that have something called a recall. A recall is when there's a mistake found on that vehicle and have to call all of those cars back. So imagine your parents, they've got this nice car, it has to go back, and now your parents can't get around to work or drop you off at school. How are your parents going to feel? Do they want to buy that car again? What are they going to say to their friends? If you were in that case, would you tell your friend to buy that car? No. So that business has lost all of their future customers and clients. Right. Another thing, it is impossible to check the quality of all goods. Right. Some companies, cold drink manufacturers, produce millions of different cold drinks every single day. But they have quality control on batches of them. So they'll say, right, this batch is not good enough. We have to throw it away. Right? And they'll throw away all of those products because they are not up to their quality. And that's what makes some businesses successful and other businesses fail because they do not emphasize on quality. Unfortunately, we can't test 1 million cans of cold drink every day. So we'll pick randomly and say, right, this batch was made at 9 o'clock. Let's test a bunch from this 9 o'clock. Let's see what it's like. Right, awesome quality. Send it out to our customers. Let's test the 10 o'clock batch. Bad quality, all right. Seems that our employees, we got a little bit lazy here. We cannot send this out to our customers because if you remember in the beginning, I said quality is all about a specific criteria. And our customers have that criteria. We also have that criteria. If our quality doesn't meet that criteria, it's inferior. We must get rid of it. Right. And the last one, large businesses must establish a reliable and efficient inspection methods to minimize the production of goods of poor quality. Right. We've got to have systems in place to make sure that people have that we are producing quality products. Right. We've got to have that computer system in place. Now, if you look at, I've got some friends who own a massive citrus produce farm and packing warehouse in Beaufort West. They've got machines that detect if there's a problem with the orange. If there's a problem with the orange, it gets rejected off the line because they don't want to sell people a bruised orange. Because there's nothing worse. I don't know if you guys have ever had a bruised orange. When you bite into it, it's like, oh, right. So you've got to make sure that you have those systems in place, right? And a lot of the top companies have those systems in place. They have those checks in place. They've got computers and machines that look at the quality there. Right, now, Large businesses can afford those machines, right, where small businesses can't because they don't have that money. But both businesses need to make sure that quality is in place there. Right, so let's go to some questions here. Right, so the first question is, describe 4 benefits of implementing quality control measures in the business. Right, so obviously, as you can see there, if we've got a good quality product, we're going to be able to sell lots of it. Right, so that's one of our benefits there. So Borgo, do you know any other benefits? What do you think?
Benefits of?
Of quality control in the business?
Oh, okay. You get to see if your product is obviously good enough for everyone.
Right, absolutely. We get to see if our product is good enough for everyone. Right, so you need to have that in there because we want to grow our customer base. Right, so let's see what they say here. Right, so fewer product defects. Right, that's massive there. If I'm at a restaurant and every second meal that is going out is not up to my standard or up to my specification, I've lost all of that money. The money that it cost me for the raw materials, the money that it cost me to pay my employees to make that, the time, and the bad public relations I'm getting. If someone walks out of my restaurant and says, oh, that food was absolutely terrible, they're going to put it on Twitter and Facebook and complain and say, don't go to this restaurant. Right, where it's the other way around. If the food is absolutely amazing, you're going to say to your friends, if you want an amazing meal, go there. You're going to get value for money and the food is absolutely amazing. Next, that comes into place there. More consumer satisfaction. If your consumers are satisfied, they're going to want more of your product. So when I go to this pizzeria that I've been going to since 1989, I always want more. I will travel an hour just to go and get a pizza from them because I know what I'm getting from them. I know it's going to be quality. Right, lower production costs. That's massive. Again, that comes into the restaurant example. If every second meal I'm wasting all my raw materials and my ingredients, I mean, that's costing me money. Where if I'm doing it properly, I know I'm using my resources efficiently and effectively. So it's going to add to my bottom line and make my business a lot more profitable. We got higher productivity. So if I got quality and my employees are quality, that means they're going to be able to work more. Right, so if we go back to that football example that I gave you, if I've got the best players in the world and they work hard and they know what they're doing, that means they're going to achieve a lot more. Where if I have inferior football players that don't know what they're doing, I'm going to have to work even harder to try and get them up to the basics. That means I'm not teaching them anything new, right? And they're not achieving our vision and our objectives and our mission that we set out in the beginning of the business. Right, we have increased sales by word of mouth. Their products are of good quality. That goes back to my pizza example. Right, people want to go there. They're like, this food is absolutely amazing. And then they're going to tell someone else. Where if you have a bad experience with someone, you're not going to want to go back there. You're going to tell your friends, avoid there. Right. Increased profits. Right, if I'm using my goods effectively, then I'm going to make sure that I'm selling more. The more products I sell, the more money I'm going to make. And that's what we want to do in business. Business is all about making money. Right? And the possible expansion of the business. Now, I remember I started when I was in grade 1. My mother took me to this amazing Portuguese chicken place, and the chicken was absolutely amazing. Now, that chicken franchise, I remember the original store in Rosettenville. We loved going there. They've expanded now that they are all over the world. You can find them in Dubai, the United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand, all over South Africa, right? Because they had good quality products. Good quality products means that we're going to be able to expand our business, and that's what we want. We want to create more employment opportunities. We want to create more money. We want to take advantage of more situations. Right. Let's go to another question here. Describe the marketing function and explain how the quality of its performance can influence the success of the business venture. Right, so let's have a look there. So, right, marketing refers to the activities that involves getting the right products to the right place at the right price and advertising it in the best possible manner in order to satisfy the needs of the consumers. Right, so if we got fast-moving goods, right, we're going to want, and we're trying to capture a large audience. We're going to advertise in a large way. We're going to advertise on TV because that reaches a large amount of people. And we also have to make sure that we got the right product at the right time. There's no point in me bringing out a phone that doesn't have a color screen and that's boring now, because people don't want that. People have got smartphones. They're looking for something that enhances their life rather than something that's boring. So I shouldn't bring that product out. Okay. Now let's look at quality performance. Marketing the product at the price that will attract the customers. Right. So if you look, some products, they come across as value for money. People want that. Right. That's what they want. Some products are marketed at a premium price. They're trying to attract the top people in South Africa to go and buy their product. So they'll market a lot differently. A can of cold drink is marketed a lot differently from a very fancy sports car. Their marketing will be different. Continually changing the nature of the product, right? So we have to keep up to date with what people want. If you look at phones, before people just wanted to SMS and make a phone call. Now people on their phones, they want Twitter, Facebook. They want to be able to share photos with their friends. They want color displays, right? They want to look at YouTube. They want all of those features. And it's changed dramatically from when I got my first phone in 2001. All I wanted to do was SMS my friends and make a phone call. Now people want more features, right? And it's going to grow more and more. You've got to see what your customers want. And then the last one there, marketing in such a manner so as to obtain a greater share of the market. Right, that's what we want. We want to gain even more customers. We want to gain more people, because more people means that we're going to be able to buy more goods and expand by offering more goods and services to our people. Right, Taboko, do we have any questions?
Yes, we do. And then I have one from Evelyn, but I think I should ask it after the break.
All right.
Yeah. I trust that you guys are enjoying today's quality lesson, and I'll see you guys after the break. Good evening, Mindsetters. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love the interaction on the Facebook page. I'm just quickly going to read a quick question from one of you Mindsetters before I hand over the show over to Dave. Now, Dave, this question comes from Evelyn, and she's asking, in business, is it a must to answer according to the textbook, or can I apply general knowledge?
Yes and no. It's good to apply some things from the textbook, but what I generally find is that if you can apply that from your general knowledge and make it a real life example, you'll get the marks as well. So when I'm marking a test, I look to see what path is my learner going down, and if it's relevant, then they'll definitely get the mark. That's the nice thing about business studies. It's such an interactive subject. It's not like other subjects where there's a right and a wrong answer. If you can back up what you said, then you can definitely get the marks there. Are there any other questions to walk on?
No, yeah, just one more from Sandile, and she's asking for more information on business functions. But I'll quickly post that and...
All right.
Yeah.
All the questions that we have been doing are actually from past exam papers. As you can see, quality does come up every now and then. We're going to be moving on to an essay question now. That came up in a matric exam. So let's just read what they have to say. Right. So we got Jabulani Supermarket has a certain business and management functions which are performed by the managers of the various departments within the organization. At their annual general meeting, Mr. Inenkosi, as general manager, reported that the quality of performance within these business functions can contribute significantly to the success. Right. So let's see what the question is actually asking us. Firstly, the question says, identify and discuss any 5 business functions. Right, so that's the first part of the question, right? A lot of people they don't read the questions carefully enough, and they give the correct answers, but for the wrong question, right? So you've got to break down the question first. See what the question is asking from you. So this first question here, identify and discuss any 5 business functions. So any 5, right? Human resources, public relations, finance, marketing, operations, purchasing, administration, and IT, right? Any of those functions, you can discuss them, any 5 of your choice, right? So that's the first part of the question. So identify means, right, list it, right, marketing. Then discuss, what is marketing? How can we improve it with quality there? Right, then the next part is analyze how the quality of performance of these functions can contribute towards making the business more profitable, right? So under those 5 that you've chosen, you have listed them, you discuss them, right, what they are, and you're going to say, how can quality enhance that to the success of the business? So how can, by having good quality, can that contribute to the success of my business? Or how can having good quality in finance contribute to the success of that business? Right. Include in your answer whether you agree with Mr. Nkosi's statement or not there. So you must say, right, do I agree with that? Now, the tips to writing an essay is almost like when you go for a good meal. Now, I was lucky enough to go to this fancy restaurant when I lived in London, right? And I had this amazing meal there. And it started with my starter, right? So your starter is your introduction. Now, I had these amazing scallops. I don't know if a lot of you have had that, but they're absolutely divine on your tongue. But they came out as this little small portion. Now, that's what a starter is. It's just making you more hungry for your main meal. And your starter is like your introduction. We're going to be telling people what is our essay about. So you go in there, you tell them what your essay is about, right? Then I had this amazing steak, a fillet steak there, and that was the main part of my meal. Now, that is the main body of your essay. So if we look here, our main body is going to be identify and discuss the 5 business functions, and then analyze the quality and performance of these functions, and how they can contribute towards making the business more profitable. So that's our main part of our essay. So we're going to be discussing our 5 business functions, saying how quality relates to them. And then the last part is your conclusion. Now, your conclusion is like your dessert, right? So you want something nice to remember that restaurant by. So you want to have this absolutely awesome dessert, right? And that is your conclusion. Now, a lot of people leave out their conclusions, and the conclusion is just how we're going to answer the question. If you look here, our conclusion here is going to be include in your answer whether you agree with Mr. Nkosi's statement. Now, let's look at Mr. Nkosi's statement. Mr. Nkosi was the general manager and reported that the quality performance within these business functions can contribute significantly to the success of the business. Right, so we got to say whether or not we agree or we disagree with him. Right, so let's see what they have to say here. Right. So firstly, we have our introduction where it says businesses have to perform the 8 business functions which they are interrelated in order to be successful. There's no point in me having an amazing product, right, but I'm not marketing it well. Right? People don't know what I'm selling. Right? I need to tell the world that I have this amazing product out there. If I have a tablet that's 3D and does all these amazing features, but no one knows that it exists, are they going to buy it? Are you going to buy it? No. So we need to tell the people out there, hey, our product exists. Right? And all the 8 business functions are interrelated with each other. Right? If we don't have good general management, right, we're not going to have proper plans and what our mission and vision is. We're not going to be able to produce our goods properly. We're not going to be able to market them properly. We're not going to have the right employees. We're going to have poor public relations, and it's all going to have a detrimental effect on the business. Right. Business enterprises want to improve their competitive position, then the need for quality becomes more important. If you're going to compete with the best, you have to have the best. Right. If we want to be a world-class business, we need to make sure that we offer a world-class product. And then lastly, businesses must have quality control performance systems in place to monitor performance. Right. Now let's look at the business function. The first one is general management. Right. So you're going to get 2 marks for listing the business function. Right. Then you must say, right, what does general management have to do? General management must develop a strategic plan. Right, a strategic plan is a plan that's 3 to 5 years. Where does the business see itself in the future? Right, it's just like if you guys want to perform a little experiment, get your brother, your sister, or your mom and dad to blindfold you, and then say to them that you want to try and navigate the house. Right. If you don't know where you're going, you're going to be walking into stuff, you're going to end up with bruises, you're going to get hurt. It's the same for business. We need to have a strategic plan. What do we have to do in order to achieve our goals? Right. So now if we look at effective quality performance, top management activities are measured largely by the final profitability figures. Right. Now if you look at a lot of CEOs of companies, they are judged upon how much money did their business make. There was a famous CEO of a top technology company in the United States. His salary dropped from $100 million down to $5 million, all because he wasn't producing quality products and the business wasn't profitable anymore. Right. Another thing, the enterprise must strive to create a positive image in the minds of the consumers. So going back to that Gulf of Mexico oil spill, the then CEO of that company actually got fired because he created this massive negative image of the company. Everyone was like, this petroleum company, they're so bad, look how they've damaged the environment, right? And he actually ended up losing his job because he didn't create a positive image of the business. Right, let's look at another one there, right? Comparison of figures on profitability. So we need to see, right, are we profitable enough? What were we like last year compared to this year? We need to keep on comparing where we are. Right? We need to know where we are so that if we are falling short, that we can make a plan to get back on top there. Right? Which is vital. You cannot just let your business slip and slip. With quality control, we can get in there and say, right, this is our problem here. This is how we're going to fix it. Maybe we need new people to come and work in the business. Maybe we need new machines. Maybe we need to employ a new marketing strategy. So you need to know all of those things there. Right, the next one is the purchasing function. Right, and this is involved in all the purchasing of raw materials or goods of the correct quality, quantity, price, time, and place. If I don't have the right quality goods, right, I cannot sell those goods to my customers. They are inferior. If I cannot sell goods to my customers, I cannot make money. And there's no point in me saying at my restaurant, oh, I sell the most amazing pizzas, but sorry, the cheese is only coming tomorrow. So unfortunately, all you guys can eat today is just a pizza base. That's not the same, right? So we need to make sure that we've got all the right goods there that we need. Now, effective quality performance, it is unwise purchases of raw materials and the capital goods may negatively impact on the final products. So if we look at my friend at university that ordered all that extra cement, right, they didn't need it, that cement couldn't be used anymore, and they lost so much money. They weren't able to spend money to buy goods that they actually needed to run their business. Right, the next one, goods must satisfy the target market. Right, our target market are our customers. If our customers don't want our goods, they're not going to buy it. We're wasting our money. Our business isn't going to be able to expand. We must see what people want. Listen to what people want. Right? My dad's a developer, and he listens to what people want. He's like, right, what do you want in your house? Do you want extra cupboards? Do you want a bigger lounge, bigger bedrooms? Because if you listen to what people want and the target market, they're going to want to buy more, and they're going to tell their friends about, hey, this is where you want to buy a house. And it's the same for all businesses. Listen to what people want, because then you can satisfy their needs and their wants, and by doing that, we're going to expand our business. Right. And then also a high turnover of goods means that the correct goods were purchased. Right. If we're selling our stuff all the time, then we know that's what our target market wants. If you look at a lot of shops, they have sales because they can't sell the goods that they bought, so they need to reduce the price that they can actually get rid of them. Right? So there wasn't a lot of quality there in purchasing those goods. Right. The next is our marketing function. Right. So making the public aware of what is available through advertising. If I don't know your product exists, I'm not going to buy your product. If I'm not going to buy your product, that's going to affect the profitability of your business. If your business isn't profitable, you're going to go out of business. Right. And we need to bring the goods within easy reach of the consumer through storage, distribution, and advertising. Right, so one of the massive things that South Africa needs to do is we need a lot more e-commerce. We need to buy stuff on the internet. Now, when I lived in the United Kingdom, I bought most of my goods on the internet. Right, they were able to deliver it to my house. I could buy it any time of night, and I'd have my goods a couple of days later. So we need to make sure that it's easy for our customers to get their goods. Right, so let's look at effective quality performance. Customers are well aware of products through the marketing communication policy. Right, and they're aggressively advertising of products. So if you look, there was a famous smartphone that came out a couple of years ago. People were camping outside of those stores 4 days before the product became available so that they could be one of the first to get their hands on that product. Right, so they went out there and said, right, this is what we're offering. This is the new product. This is the new phone that we're going to be releasing. Right, and they went on a whole massive marketing campaign. They created this hype with people. And then people wanted their product. They were sold out of their product within a matter of hours. Right, and new products must also be advertised to attract consumers. Right, so our new products, people need to know, hey, this is what's out there. Come and buy our product. Leave our competition alone. They don't know what they're doing. Right. Let's go to the next one. Right. We got the production function. Acquiring the raw materials from the various sources. Right. We need to make sure that we got our correct raw materials there. So for quality, goods must be produced at reasonable costs to remain competitive. If we cannot be competitive, then we're going to be losing our advantage to our competition. So if you look at China, China is now producing quality goods at a lot cheaper prices than they can be produced in Europe. So what a lot of companies are doing, they're moving their production to China. So that means a lot of people are losing their jobs in Europe. So what do the companies in Europe have to do? They have to make sure that they can become a lot more competitive. Right, the financial function. So determine the need for funds. Right, we need to make sure we're spending our money wisely. We're spending it in the right place. We're going to spend it on stuff that's going to make money. If we're going to spend it on rubbish and waste our money, we're not going to be as profitable. We're going to lose money. We can't expand as easily. Right, so effective quality performance. Right, the profitability ratios must be prepared by the financial manager and presented to the management to compare and make decisions. Right, this is also influenced by the credit collection policy, liquidity analysis, and cash flow position. So we need to make sure that we've got all the money that we need there. Right? If I waste my money, I'm not going to have any, I'm going to have a negative cash flow. If I don't have a positive cash flow, I can't invest in new products. That means I'm going to lose competition to my competition, and my whole business is going to fail. Right? Are you guys starting to see why quality is so vital? Next, human resources. To find suitable persons for the right job. Now, we all fancy ourselves as a little bit of a football manager, and we know, right, this player should play here. But how many of us can actually do that job? Right, there aren't many. So the football clubs need to make sure that they've got the right people for their job there. The right people that can take them places so that they can achieve their aims and objectives. And it's just the same for business. We've got to make sure that we have the right people working for us. There's no point in them bringing across here the best science teacher and he's won Nobel Prizes to teach you business studies, right? Even though they're amazing in that aspect, it's not what we're looking for right now. So effective quality performance, continuous training and development of staff. The world changes. The one constant in the world is change. So we need to make sure that people keep up with that change and know what's happening. Next, public relations. Promote a positive image by liaising with the relevant stakeholders. So we need to say, right, who are our stakeholders? Our staff, our community that we operate in, our customers. We need to make sure that they know what's happening with us and that we have a positive image with them out there. One of the effective things is release regular press statements. Tell us what's happening in the business. Right, what have you done right? Okay, you can, even though you might have had a negative impact with your business, you can turn it around by having a positive impact and telling people what you are actually doing is good for them. Administration, acquiring, collecting, and processing and making available and safekeeping of information. If I just leave my information out there for my competitors to get, they're going to copy my idea, they might make it better, and I'm going to lose a lot of business. I also need to know that I've got the right information at the right time so that I can make an informed decision. All right, let's look at risk management. According to the King's Report of Corporate Governance, it was proposed that the risk function be a management function on its own. Right, we need to try and avoid risk wherever we can. Right, if we don't have to take unnecessary risks, then let's not take it. And quality helps us do that. Make sure that we've got the best product going out to our consumers, and therefore we're eliminating the risk that our business is going to fail. Right, so now that we've gone through those, the different business functions, we must say whether or not we agree or disagree with Mr. Nkorsi's statement. So by that you'll see, right, that we should actually agree with them, right? Multitasking, have multi-skilling. We need synergy, right in there. So then our conclusion will say the management functions mentioned above cannot operate in isolation. They cannot isolate in operation. So we need to make sure that our quality is there all the time, across all the business functions, right? The functions are closely interrelated, and the quality performance of the business functions leads to an overall improvement and profitability of the enterprise. That's what we want. That's what we're there for at the end of the day, to make a profit. And if the whole business is operating in a great quality circle and everything is about quality in the business, we know that we are going to be profitable and we're going to be able to sustain our business and go forward in the future. Right, Tebogo, over to you.
Thank you so much, Dave, for the great lesson. I have mindsetters here that really had a great time. And Ndivo and Silo are one of them. He says, wow, this is a quality teacher. Holla at him for me, please.
Awesome.
Guys, thank you for tuning in, and a big thank you to Macmillan for making this show possible. Until next time, from us, stay blessed.